let's let them in. Open up the doors, please, ladies. You are joining us here on Daily with Doc. And I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, because we have both on our co-host team, I just appreciate them all so very much. If you are out on YouTube or Rumble or Facebook and you would like to join us live, go ahead and go to dailywithdoczoom.com and join us here in our live studio as we bring empowering information to you. For those of you who are here live with us already, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have a question for Dr. Wallach, we will be going to questions after he does his opening monologue, so raise your hand early. I know yesterday there were several people that started raising their hand towards the end and we just did not get to them, so we apologize. And if you do have a question and we do not get to your question, whether you're out on YouTube, Rumble, or Facebook, or here live with us, or watching the replay, go to dailywithdoc.com, click on contact, and you can send us an email with your questions, and we will make sure that we get back with you with an answer based on Dr. Wallach's research. So I have an amazing team of certified holistic health coaches, and we have an amazing community of health coaches who have your interest, your best health interest in mind. And that's why we hope that you are here today, is because you value the information that you saw that shared this program with you, or the person, because they valued you. So my name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, I am just deeply honored to be able to bring to you a man who has been studying the body. And even before studying the body, he was studying agriculture and plants and soil and everything that makes it up. And when things go awry, why? What is missing, or what was added that shouldn't be there that caused things to happen? He's very much a cause and effect. And you're going to be hearing about that in today's program, as he is very good at recalling everything that he has done. So without further ado, before I do that, if somebody invited you to this program, make sure that you get back with them. Thank them for taking the time and caring about you enough to share this program with you, because it is empowering information. Folks, we are not chemical deficient. Nutrient deficiency has been linked to over 600 different poor health conditions. Okay, 600, more than 600, all because of nutritional deficiencies. And the doctor that we have with us is one of the founding fathers of a science called epigenetics. And if you've never heard of epigenetics before, it gives hope to all of us who have been told that we're just going to have to live with what we've got going on because it was genetic, or you're genetically inclined, or your mom and dad had it, or your mother and your grandmother had it, so you have to have it too. That is so false, so wrong. And I am so thankful that it was wrong, because of the man of the hour, the science of epigenetics. I no longer have any of those conditions I was told I was going to have to live with the rest of my life, because they were quote unquote genetic. So Dr. Wallach, welcome to Daily with Doc. If I could get you on screen with me, that would be absolutely fantastic.
Well, you have the switches. There you go. There you go.
I'm not the only one with the switches, so I'm thankful that I have a co-host team that has switches. Welcome, Dr. Wallach.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind introduction. And this is like family, you and the team here, so I appreciate it. And today we're going to talk about some basic stuff, because we have a great event coming up here in almost 2 weeks.
Dr. Wallach, it's next week.
Oh, it's next week. Okay. And this great event is going to produce a tremendous tool that Rebecca's been working on it 28 hours a day. I know. And so she and her team, and it's going to be a great, great tool because it represents, some 75 years of work, and the truths that are very, very important here. And today, again, we want to talk about something very basic. We're going to talk about arthritis and osteoporosis. And the U.S. population, the last census I have, and I don't know, I'm probably about 6 months behind here or something like that. But the last census I had for the U.S. population is 332,228,200. It is probably closer to 334 million right now, but at any rate, so that's 332,228,200. Of that, 24% have arthritis. 24%, 1/4 of Americans have arthritis, which is inflammation of the joints. Okay, that amounts to more than 58.5 million cases in the United States. And then the one that really gets me very upset is kids under the age of 16 have juvenile arthritis. There's 300,000 kids in the United States that are diagnosed with and registered as having juvenile arthritis. 300,000 cases, a third of a million cases. Okay. 3 million cases of juvenile arthritis in the world. And it costs us, just to treat the symptoms of arthritis in the United States each year, not to prevent it or cure, but just to treat the symptoms, $626.8 billion. Doctors are laughing all the way to the bank. Okay. Now, osteoporosis, okay, occurs, is diagnosed in 19.6% in women and 4.4% in men. And we spend, just to treat the symptoms of osteoporosis in America, not to prevent it or cure it, but just to treat the symptoms, 2.3 trillion with a T, $2.3 trillion. So between osteoporosis and arthritis each year, we're spending, oh gosh, what? Well over,
Too much.
well, yeah, it's, well over $3 trillion, $3 trillion, because $2.3 trillion for osteoporosis and 2/3 of a trillion, 626.8 billion. So added together, that's just like $3 trillion a year just to treat the symptoms of osteoporosis and arthritis. Now that's very scary because it's a very simple nutritional deficiency disease. And we learn to do this and deal with this in animals very easily. And being a veterinarian gives me a little bit of advantage. And it's one of those things where when you have osteoporosis of the skull, there's 37 different diseases alone you can get from osteoporosis of the skull. When we came out with a book, it's all in your head. That's one of my favorite pictures, is showing osteoporosis of the skull here. And between the book and the CD and myself, it's myself and Dr. Milan and Rebecca, okay, put these together. And it's a set, okay. And the top is, both of these are from autopsy. Take the top of the skull off and you're looking down on the brain. And
I got it, Doc.
okay, looking down on the brain, and you can see that the skull is 1/4 of an inch thick. Okay, you can see this, the brain is very well, what should I say, has all the
Modeled.
all of the various parts there that you can see. Okay, all the divisions and the various grooves and crannies and everything going on with a normal brain. Okay, the bottom picture is also from autopsy. The top of the skull is taken off, but the brain is smooth like, cantaloupe skin. But you can see that the skull is not 1/4 of an inch thick. It's 1.5 to 2 inches thick, depending on what part you're looking at. And that's not bone. That is scar tissue, connective tissue. Okay, and kind of like your skin. And that's because that bottom skull has osteoporosis of the skull. And again, there's 37, is that right? 37 different diseases you can get. Okay, when you have
I know
osteoporosis.
the number keeps going up, Dr. Wallach, as we're getting more and more questions and looking at all the symptoms of the diseases that are being presented. The number just keeps going up and up.
Yes, I
Because
think it's between 37 and 50, depending on whose numbers you're looking at, differences, okay? And you can have them sometimes on one side, you can have them on both sides. And of course, the spinal cord coming out of the back of the skull is impacted because when you have osteoporosis of the skull, the tunnels that the nerves are going through and the spinal cord are going through, you lose the inside diameter and it's putting pressure on those nerves. Okay, that's why you have all these things. Even getting up 3, 4, 5 times a night to urinate. That's not a prostate problem because it happens more in women than it does in men. Women don't have prostate glands, so you can't attribute that to a prostate issue. But that, and doctors are disappointed because they can't get a biopsy of the prostate gland when you're a woman. Okay, and it's one of those things where we have a very, very simple prevention and treatment and cure for arthritis in animals. And so I developed it for people. And one of the first people I worked with that was a pastor, Creflo Dollar, out of Atlanta, Georgia. And I used to go down there. I mean, we're talking a long time ago. We're talking 35, 40 years ago. I'd go down there and like once a month or twice a month, I'd put on lectures, in his church. And he had a huge crowd in there. And he's, been one of our great supporters all these years and everything. Pastor Creflo Dollar, so I can't thank him enough for that. And this introduced me to some of the great Black politicians and some of the great Black athletes and some of the great Black scientists and so forth. And I have to thank Pastor Creflo Dollar for that, because he helped me spread the message to get the information to the Black community. And this project that Rebecca and I've been working on, gosh, for almost a year now. Okay. It's getting pretty close to a year, isn't it, Rebecca?
It'll be a year in July, Dr. Wallach.
Well,
yeah, year in July.
Okay. And so this is going to be presented at the Contact in the Desert with George Nori. I mean, I put on those meetings there for I don't know how many years. And so this is a big deal. We're going to be speaking to millions of people. And this is going to be a recorded is this going to be a film, Rebecca?
We're going to make it a presentation, Dr. Wallach. So definitely.
It'll be available to everybody.
It will be available. It's going to be a tool that we can share and you can share.
And it's going to help millions of people all over the world for their health that have problems. And see, like myself, I have an injury, but I don't have any high blood pressure. I don't have any diabetes. I don't have any arthritis. I don't have any osteoporosis. I still have I'm 84 years old and still have all my own teeth except the one that was knocked out in a fight. Okay, in a mall, 3 guys trying to get my packages, and so forth. And I'm playing football and lettering in football in high school and wrestling. And also at the University of Missouri, okay, and never having any injuries. And all these other big guys, 200-pounders, and all these muscles and everything, getting injured all over the place. I'm just going through them like a hot knife through butter, because at 110 pounds, because I've been taking all these nutrients, okay, for 8-10 years before I got there, okay, and so I can still duke it out with the best of them, okay, and I'm very excited about this, because this is going to take the information that we've been accumulating for 75 years to the next level. And we got so many famous people. You've all heard of Pat Boone. He had arthritis and the doctors wanted to give him a double knee replacement, which we talked about the other day. There you go. And we rebuilt him, and he wrote the foreword to this book, The Wallach Revolution. Pat Boone wrote the foreword to my book, The Wallach Revolution, and he tells his story of how the doctors wanted to give him a double knee replacement, and how we rebuilt his knees and his hips and everything else. And he's 80 years old now, and he's working like a 25-year-old. He's just working his head off and being out there and communicating with all the people he loves and so forth, and all the things he loves to do. So I can't thank him enough for that. And we also have another one who's a co-author of the book here, wrote the last chapter in the book, Danny Glover, a great movie star, and some say a comedian in some of his movies, and of course a singer also. And Dan Glover, he was born with epilepsy and born with seizures, and he got to the point, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 8 years ago, he just it was too dangerous for him to go on the road and give presentations, and so we rebuilt him, and now he's as good as he was when he was 25 years old, and he's in his 60s. Okay, and so he wrote the last chapter of the book, The Wallach Revolution.
I know he's really pushing 70, Doc.
Oh, and now he's pushing 70. Well, there you go. And so the point I'm getting at here, and we have a list of professional athletes. I'm not going to go into them because I'm not going to get through the list. You'll get them. You'll get them when this tool comes out. We've gone through great politicians, and I'm not going to go through the list because there's so many of them. You'll get it when the program comes out, when the tool comes out. And then also, we go through so many movie stars and so many what let's see, we talked about politicians, we talked about athletes, we're talking about professional people. Oh, we're talking about people who are in the government, senators and congressmen and mayors and all these kind of people in the government, solving their health problems and health problems of some of their people and their staff and so forth. It's an endless thing. I mean, we're dealing right now in the world per day. We're literally dealing with millions of people. And because of our 8 lawsuits against the FDA and federal court, we save tens of thousands of babies every day because we put those nutrients into the baby formulas, and we've eliminated most birth defects. We've eliminated some of the most terrible birth defects. Like my Jerry Lewis favorite, of course.
Well, Dr. Wallach, one thing I want to point out is, the things that were added to the formula that helps the baby after they start breathing oxygen. But you are also responsible for getting nutrients put into prenatal vitamins.
That's correct.
To help with preventing
Prevention.
those conditions. So I want to make sure that that's very clear.
That
That it's not just the baby formulas, Dr. Wallach. It was the mama formulas that were given and prescribed to the babies. But folks,
the mama's formulas came first.
Yeah. But if they're not getting the nutrients before they start taking those vitamins, Dr. Wallach, there's things that can happen in those first couple weeks of when the sperm and egg connect and the cells start multiplying, that if the nutrition's not there, you're not going to have the most optimal.
And we're talking about biochemical diseases. We're talking about physical diseases, like diabetes, type 1 diabetes. We're talking about things like muscular dystrophy. Okay. But we're also talking about behavioral stuff, this big thing, with the issues where we have people, they're 2, 3, 4 years old, and they have all the equipment of a boy and want to be a girl, and they have all the equipment of a girl and want to be a boy. All this gender issue stuff that's preventable, okay, because it's a nutritional deficiency, and that's why we have the Zerafem for little girls who think they want to be boys. We have the Zeratest for little boys who think they want to be girls, along with the 90 essential nutrients. And so we have all these programs. So we have been dealing with this for 75 years. And this doesn't, believe me, this doesn't have everything. It's just 75 years is a lot of stuff. And so that's why we have Dead Doctors Don't Lie. We have, okay, epigenetics, which Rebecca's already talked about. Okay.
My favorite.
Okay. And then another one of my favorites is Rare Earths Forbidden Cures. Goes into the lands flowing with milk and honey, where all the long-lived people, like Adam lived to be 930, and Noah lived to be 950, and Methuselah lived to be 969, and many, many other people in the Bible lived to be 800, 700. Okay. And we have the reason why that happened in here. The land flowing with milk and honey, it wasn't cow's milk, it wasn't camel milk, it wasn't goat's milk. It was glacial milk, okay, because the ground of rocks looked like milk to the people a long time ago, and they didn't have the ability to do an analysis and see what that milky stuff was coming out of the mountains was made up out of. And it blows your mind what's in that book, Rare Earths Forbidden Cures. Go to chapter 10 first. Read chapter 10 first. Oh my gosh. That's called glacial milk, okay? And so with that, let's see here. Again, arthritis and osteoporosis is easy. We have the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. It was actually made for Theo Ratliff, 24 years old, lost a $35 million contract because he had terrible bone-to-bone arthritis in his knees at 24 years old. He lost his position with the Atlanta Hawks. He also had osteoporosis and cartilage loss in his hips. He also had a fracture in his right wrist, a shooting arm wrist. We had our Healthy Start Pack, which had the 90 essential nutrients. and I had to come up with a collagen product. So we made the glucogel, which is made from beef collagen, added that to it, made the healthy bone and joint pack for Theo. And in 4 months' time, he comes back and he gets his position back. Guess what? He plays for 11 more years, top shot blocker, top scorer, and makes $100 million. Do you think he likes the healthy bone and joint pack? Absolutely. Okay. And so this is how it all kind of started. In what can I say? It's an endless procedure, because people would hear we're doing really weird things and they would come to us. And if we didn't have something that already met their needs, we would make something that met their needs because of my history in the animal industry. So that's the connection.
Yep. Well, I love that connection, Dr. Wallach. And I know that we have a lot of people that love connection, because I just got a report of how many are on Zoom and how many are on YouTube and Rumble and Facebook. And the numbers are getting up there, Dr. Wallach. More and more people are waking up. And I am so excited and happy to be part of this crusade to make sure that people know that they are empowered. There's so much, folks, that you can do all on your own in making sure that you're eliminating the things that are causing disease and implementing the things that help to support cell structure. And Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Yes, Hell's Kitchen, another
That's
one of
fourth
your
grade.
great
That's fourth
books.
grade biology. This is fourth grade biology. Okay. It goes through the transition from wood and coal as fuel. When we're putting the wood ashes and coal ashes into the garden. Now, people didn't know that the carrots and onions and all the vegetables they were growing, beets and things like that, were sucking up all the minerals from the wood ashes and coal ashes. They just knew that their yield went up. They got more yield out of their garden when they put the wood ashes and coal ashes in there. They also put some in their soup and their stew and stuff like that as a taste thing. They're getting minerals that way. And then in 1882, we switched over to electricity. When Thomas Edison pulled that switch, within 18, 20 years, it had been 20 years of Americans and people in Europe not getting any more wood ashes and coal ashes. And so suddenly now they had 50 different diseases nobody ever heard of before. They're all simple nutritional deficiency diseases, because plants cannot make minerals. Plants make vitamins, amino acids, and fatty acids. That's fourth grade stuff, where the chlorophyll in the leaves take the carbon dioxide out of the air, okay, and make carbon compounds out of it, like vitamins, amino acids, fatty acids, and so forth. But plants cannot make minerals, and nutritional minerals that we need do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. That's where there's some places like Hunza where they live to be 120. Okay. And us, where our emergency room doctors live to be 58.7, and professional athletes and Olympic athletes in America live to be 57.6. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, they're exercising, yet they only live 2/3 of what the average American who lives to be 75 live to be. Well, why is that? That's because they're sweating out all their nutrients. They're just drinking water to rehydrate. And they're not taking all 90 essential nutrients. And that's why they're dying so young. In fact, there was just another one in this morning's Fox News. Okay. An athlete in their, I don't know, 50s died. And a couple of days ago, there was a swimmer from the University of Louisiana, died at 18. A medalist, gold medalist swimmer, dies at 18, just walking down the hallway, drops dead. Okay. Why is it? Well, that's because they're nutritionally deficient. It's a nutritional deficiency. It's not just a bad gene. Okay. And just drinking water after you exercise will kill you. It's called Exercise Without Supplementation is Suicide. That's one of the CDs in this 3 CD set. Okay. The new bull in town. Red Bull has one mineral, magnesium. We have 75 minerals. In my math, 75 is more than one. Okay.
Well, and Dr. Wallach, one thing about taking the supplements is whenever you have foreign invaders coming into the body, whether they come through your mouth, through injection, whatever, when your body is being supported by the nutrition that it needs to thrive, then when those foreign invaders come in, it's able to continue to thrive. And when
Yeah, it
it's
raises
not,
the army to go after and eats the bad guys.
yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to to add that in there, because I know there's a lot of controversy about these young folks, having heart issues, and it just breaks my heart. But folks, we have to give the body what it needs so that it can fight and be strong and
Yeah, it has to be able
overcome,
to defend itself.
conquer.
You need weapons to defend yourself, and the 90 essential nutrients are the weapons to defend yourself. This is the simplest way to say it.
Yep, absolutely. That's well said. A triple plus, Dr. Wallach, on that. Thank you. Thank you. And I know we have several hands up. We've got lots of questions out on YouTube that I'm looking at, plus some that came in to me through text message. So let's go ahead and get ready to jump right in there, Dr. Wallach. And just as a reminder, this program is to provide education information only on the importance of supplementation, folks. Our bodies are not, they're not deficient of chemicals. But when we give the body what it needs, it can do some amazing stuff.
That's correct.
This program is also not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. So when getting on a quality supplementation program and you are already on a bag full of pharmaceuticals, make sure that you work with your primary care physician in monitoring yourself at home and through your doctor, because as your body and the cells are becoming healthier and healthier, they're going to, chances are, they can release some of those chemicals because they're going to be absorbing more. They don't need as much going in, to the point of not needing them at all. At least that was my experience, Dr. Wallach. And I've had many, many clients that have experienced the same thing. And that's our goal, folks, to take a nutrient deficient body that has been surviving on chemicals to keep it going and replace those chemicals with natural nutrition that actually arms yourself with the weapons that the body needs to protect and to just function strong. Go to dailywithdoc.com. You will be able to find the replays of our programs, Daily with Doc, Ask Doc Live, Ask Doc Daily, Q&A with Pharmacist Ben, which for those of you that are watching live, once a month, I have a Q&A with Pharmacist Ben. Make sure that you go to dailywithdoc.com and register for our newsletter so that you get an announcement that gives you an invitation to Q&A with Pharmacist Ben, which is actually happening tonight at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. So we invite you to join us there. That is benandbeccazoom.com. Now, again, just a reminder, if somebody invited you to this program, get back with them. Say, hey, I want to learn more about what Dr. Wallach is talking about and get on a program that best fits my needs. That's the nice thing about working with a health coach, folks, especially a certified holistic health coach from the Institute of Holistic Health. We have been deeply educated on Dr. Wallach's research. We use his formulas as solutions for health conditions, and our coaches have been trained on that. So make sure that you get with the person that referred you to this program. Chances are they are one of those amazing certified holistic health coaches. If you have never spoken to anybody about longevity or Dr. Wallach, and you would like to get connected with a health coach or the products that we have, go to dailywithdoc.com. Yes. Click on contact, send us an email letting us know that you're interested, or you can also give our team a call, 855-949-3377. Again, that's the Daily with Doc team call line, hotline, 855-949-3377. Again, that's for people that are not working with somebody who have never purchased the longevity products before. So Dr. Wallach, let's go to the first hand that is up. And first I see Karen. So Karen, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you've been so helpful. I know I just called yesterday, but I just found out a relative has been diagnosed with sarcoidosis. She's in her early 30s. She weighs 150 pounds. She's about 5'5". She really doesn't urinate during the night. She's been diagnosed with this back in her 20s, and she battles it periodically, but she's just been hospitalized. She does eat healthy. I mean, not according to our standards, but so she's got a lot of inflammation going on in her lung, I guess. What
Okay,
would you recommend?
she's in the hospital because it's primarily in her lungs.
Yes.
Okay, well, sarcoidosis is scar tissue
Okay.
replacing functional tissue. So if you don't have lung tissue, you got a bunch of scar tissue, you're not gonna be able to get much oxygen. Same way when you get a cirrhosis of the liver, that's kind of a sarcoidosis of liver. Okay, and when you get things like sarcoidosis of the muscles, suddenly now you don't have any strength in your muscles, because instead of having muscles that contract, you get muscles that are scar tissue that don't have the capacity to contract, and so forth. And these are all caused by nutritional deficiencies. Okay, and of course we know a lot about this kind of stuff because muscle is meat. In the meat industry, the muscle industry, the livestock industry knows everything about this. Okay, every dirt farmer knows more about sarcoidosis than most medical doctors. Okay, because he's got to keep all his animals healthy so they can go to market and pass all the tests and everything for human consumption. Okay, and so you say she weighs 250
No,
pounds?
150. 150.
150, okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, none of the bad stuff. No inflammation, maximize absorption. Okay, none of the bad stuff. And of course, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no barley, rye, and oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, no buckwheat, no carbonated diet drinks, no carbonated water. Okay, and then at 150 pounds, I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. Full dose of everything twice a day. There's 215 nutrients in each one of these healthy brain and heart packs. And this has been tested in professional athletes and Olympic athletes all over the world. I mean, we use it a lot. Then we have the MSM, 2 bottles a month of MSM. So you take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, or dinner time. And they're going to help support, again, maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. We're talking about the tendons and the connective tissue, even the heart valves, okay, and the skin and all these kind of things. People look 25 years younger. I mean, I don't think I look like I'm 84. I don't act like I'm 84. Okay, but in 7 days, I'll be 84 years old. Okay, it's one of those things where what should I say? You give your body what it needs, and it'll stay young longer. Okay. Then the collagen peptides, the scuba that with their morning drink, scuba their evening drink, and then it won't hurt to throw in the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 words, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 words, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. She can take 3 twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. They're small bottles. So she can take 3 twice a day, and they're going to help support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in the brain, the heart, the kidneys, the muscles, every place in the body. Okay. And then if she's on blood pressure medication, don't cold turkey off of that, but as the blood pressure drops, we'll reduce it. And let's see here. If that's what the complaints are about, that's where I would go. And for any pain, if there's pain, serious pain in any joint or muscles, we do have the CM cream to apply topically. And we also have the Soothe from our Hemp FX division. It's all quite legal. Soothe, okay. And there's nothing in there that is addictive, but it does have the pain relieving stuff that's in the Soothe. Okay, so I use the Soothe because it lasts me, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours. The CM cream I will add. Okay, maybe if I'm going to go do something and lift, or I'll do that before I go do some lifting. Use the CM cream and so on. And so I use them both. And the CM cream will give you 2 to 4 hours of relief, and the Soothe from our Hemp FX will give you 4 to 6 hours relief. Okay. So that's
Okay,
okay.
great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Karen. Let's move right over to Sherry, Dr. Wallach. Sherry.
Hi, thank you so much.
Hi,
I
Sherry.
have two questions. Hi, I have two questions for you, Dr. Wallach. One is, I have a female who's 54 years old. I don't know her weight. She has a heart murmur and mitral valve prolapse. What would you recommend?
Okay. Okay, well, let's go per 100 pounds of body weight. Okay, you got to get rid of all the bad foods. Get the book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. Okay, 300 pages of safe recipes, safe cooking methods, and also the good food, bad food list in there, so I don't have to go through it all 10 times every day. And as Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, every family should have at least one of those copies in the house. And then she needs, per 100 pounds of body weight, 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. She only weighs 110 pounds. That'd be 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, a half a dose of everything twice a day, 1 bottle of the MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. If she weighs 135, 140, 150 pounds or more, I'd have her take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, the full dose twice a day, 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 times a day. That's going to support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, including the valves in the heart and the valve tendons and ligaments that go from the valve to the valve and the valve to the heart muscle and so on. Also needs the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, those 3 words, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, so you take 3 twice a day, okay, per 100 pounds of body weight, and that's going to help with circulation, even if there's blocked arteries in the heart, coronary artery disease, okay. If there's high blood pressure involved, a lot of people say, well, I've got it under control with drugs. Well, it's going to keep getting worse because you haven't gotten rid of the bad stuff, okay? And so when you have coronary artery disease, you want that healthy brain and heart pack, you want the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, you want, okay, to get that blood flowing through the blocked arteries, support healthy blood pressure. But if you're on medication, don't cold turkey off the medication, but as the blood pressure comes out, you slowly reduce it. And I think we've covered that one.
Thank you so much. The second question is, can a nursing mom take the herbal rainforest?
I wouldn't. I don't know that we've done any studies on that, but because of all those herbs, there's 13 herbs in there. They're pretty strong herbs for cleansing, and I would not recommend that for a pregnant woman. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach.
But you can have the plain minerals, the plain liquid plant minerals, but not the herbal rainforest.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you so much for answering that question, Dr. Wallach. Let's next move over to Phyllis. Phyllis, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you, Becca. Doc, we have a couple of questions here. One is off of YouTube. And let's see, from Raphael. His question is gluten dangerous absolutely for everyone or only people with gluten sensitivity or celiac disease?
Okay, that's a very good question. I'll ask a question back and then I'll answer the question. The question I'm going to answer back is, how many people would suffer from a bullet to the head?
Everybody.
100%. Okay, gluten is bad for everybody. Gluten kills more people than murderers with guns. Okay, because you cannot absorb nutrition, even if you're taking nutrition. You say, well, I tried Wallach stuff and it didn't work. I said, what do you have for breakfast every morning? Oh, I have gluten-free oatmeal. There is no such thing as gluten-free oatmeal. The gluten in oatmeal is called gliadin, it's still gluten. And so this is one of those things where gluten really never hit the market until the, let's see here, I guess it was the guys who built the pyramids, all the Egyptians were growing wheat, and they were using wheat as a trading item back just before the Old Testament. Okay, before that, nobody was eating wheat because it was just in a very small place. But the Egyptians were the one that took it around the world just before the Old Testament was written. Okay, and now doctors are even worse because doctors say, oh, eat more whole grains. Well, my doctor said to eat more wheat, eat more oatmeal. Okay, and they think drinking beer is getting more
Whole grains.
Okay, and so I don't know if I've answered the question.
I think you have. And we also have a question from Chrissy. It's an animal question, and I hope more people will ask animal questions because we love our pets, and you are able to help us often with these serious conditions that we're advised of. And Chrissy, if you wish, you can raise your hand and come on camera. So otherwise, I'll go ahead and read your question. So
Why don't you go ahead and read it, and I will see if I can get Chrissy to come on with us. Chrissy, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Chrissy, go ahead and, do you want Phyllis to read the question, or do you want to go ahead and say it?
She can read it if you don't mind.
And then you can answer questions. Perfect.
Yes.
no worries at all. And Chrissy's question is regarding her 6-year-old dog, which is a female, half Shih Tzu, half Maltese. And this dog started having an issue with her left eye last Friday. She went to the clinic on Saturday, had stain tests and other tests for glaucoma. Everything came back fine. And Chrissy was given medications for her to take, including eye drops. Now, her dog seemed okay, but the eye started to look filmy on Monday. So she went back to the vet yesterday, and they said her eye pressure was very high. She had signs of glaucoma. And Chrissy was sent to the ER clinic, which said that the dog had secondary glaucoma, would be on medications for the rest of her life, probably lose her eye in 12 to 18 months.
Okay, let's stop there. And this doggy weighs how much? 6 pounds?
She's
6
10
years old.
pounds.
How much?
10.
10 pounds. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have to appreciate that little doggies, even a 6-year-old dog, can have osteoporosis of the skull. Osteoporosis of the skull squeezes the optic nerve, the optic artery, and the optic vein. It doesn't happen equally on both sides. One side's worse than the other. Okay. Humans as well as animals. And so this dog should not be getting any table scraps. This dog should be, and no gluten. This dog should be getting a good brand of canned dog food, and you'll see why in a moment. Canned dog food with all the vitamins and minerals in it. Back in 1900, before canned dog food came out by Welsh and Purina, the average lifespan of a pet dog in a household was like 3, 4, 5 years. When they came out with the canned dog food, suddenly now dogs are now living to be 12, 15 years of age. And now they're living to be 17, 20 years of age because of all the vitamins and minerals in canned dog food. Okay. And so this is where I got a lot of information about what to do for human beings. Okay. Was that story about the dog food. Now, the same thing is true here. We have a product to add to the dog food called Arthrodex. It's 1 scoop for 20 pounds of body weight. So in this case, if the doggy weighs how much? 10 pounds? That's a half
10 pounds, Dr. Wallach.
I'd go with a half a scoop of the Arthrodex in the dog's canned dog food. No table scraps. And then because of the eye issues, I would get our let's see here, Vision FX. A couple of those, just open them up and dump the powder, in the, I think it's a capsule powder. If it's not, yeah, I think so, and then dump the powder in there. Also, we have another one. Okay, it's actually another capsule. It's in a glass jar. Which one is that, Rebecca?
Synaptive, Dr. Wallach.
No.
Are you thinking synaptive or occutive?
Occutive, that's it, occutive. That's what I'm looking for, is occutive. And you could give that doggy some occutive for the eye. Okay. And that's where I would start, the occutive and the Arthrodex. Okay. And, give us a call every couple of weeks and let us know how doggy's doing, but no table scraps. Because when you give a dog table scraps, they're going to get the same disease that humans get.
And Dr. Wallach, I just wanted to give kind of a short little testimonial. I have a client that has been listening to you, their dog had lots of different symptoms and conditions that were said to be genetic to the breed. Okay. And they have been able to overcome most of them. She had some surgery, some eye surgery. And right after the eye surgery, started having problems with the eyes. We got her on the Synaptive, the Occutive, and those problems quickly remedied themselves, and they were quote unquote genetic to the breed. So I am super excited that we've been able to help pets, because I myself, as a pet owner, and my son, who just adores his Rottweilers, we appreciate the fact that we're able to help our pets, our fur babies, live longer, Dr. Wallach, and the nutrition has a big part of that.
And they don't suffer. They don't suffer.
Yeah, and yeah, they can go longer, harder, stronger. I've had another one where it was, I can't remember the breed. It's not a common one, where she was about 18 years old. She was no longer able to go up and down the steps anymore going into the house. We put her on the Arthrodex and the I-26 companion, and within 3 days, she was jumping on and off the couch again. It's just incredible how quick the body can absorb nutrition and start letting it work to let the body be able to function again. So it's amazing, folks. You can find the Arthrodex, you can find the I-26, all of the products that Dr. Wallach has mentioned. You can find them on dailywithdoc.com. We have a store there. But again, if you were referred by somebody else or somebody specific, get with them and say, hey, I want to take care of my pets too. What do I need?
Yeah, those pet products are so good. If we'd ever run out of one of the products that I take, and I take a lot of products. I mean, you've seen my table with all those bottles of things I take twice a day, plus my Healthy Brain and Heart Pack twice a day, and plus the Rebound twice a day. When you look at that, okay, this if anything runs out, I have some Arthrodex here at the house. Guess what I'm going to take? I'm going to take Arthrodex. I'm going to take the pet products because they're just as good as the human products.
And I did a taste test on it, Dr. Wallach. Okay. For those of you who love me, don't let this change your mind. But I did a taste test on the Arthrodex and it didn't taste bad. I even took pictures to prove it. So I'm going to have to put a graphic together and share that. Not that we recommend pet products for any human beings, but when things are made in the same plant, Dr. Wallach, and they're food safe and go by all of those.
And there's an emergency and you don't want to be without something.
There you go. There you go. Well, Dr. Wallach, Ruth Ellen has her hand up. So Ruth Ellen, go ahead and join us here.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for doing that, Rebecca. And thank you, Dr. Wallach. Okay, so I have a question that is on YouTube and Facebook. Okay, and it is from Michael. And he says, how much colloidal copper should I take to fix the gray hair? 61-year-old male, 5'9.5", 185 pounds. And what is the minimum amount of colloidal copper that you don't want to exceed daily?
Okay, well, here's what I like. When you have gray hair, it's not an aging thing. It's actually a nutritional deficiency. Okay. And, little kids get gray hair. Okay. If they're really seriously deficient. And here's where I like the complete mix. I like the plant-derived minerals, Okay. And if he doesn't want to take more than an ounce twice a day at 185 pounds, which is what he should take, an ounce twice a day, he can take an ounce, a half ounce twice a day, and then the other ounce, just rub it on his belly before he goes to bed every night. And that keeps him awake all night, rub it on his belly when he wakes up in the morning. Okay. And we have some great stories. And one of the great stories is going to be, I'm correct here, I think, Rebecca. One of the great stories we're going to have in this new tool coming out is Pastor Mike Freeman, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh my
Absolutely.
gosh. Yeah, six weeks in a coma And the doctors have said he's only got hours or a day or so left to live. Everybody better come say their goodbyes. And Linda Tyler from Baltimore, Maryland says anything we can do for him. And we went down the list. No, 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 no. So let's just rub some of the plant-derived colloidal minerals on him. 1/3 of a cup 3 times a day. Okay. 1/3 of a cup on his sternum, on his upper belly, his lower belly, between his shoulder blades, his upper back, his lower back. 3rd day, he wakes up, he shaves, he goes to the TV and radio studio in the church. He spends 12 hours telling his story over and over and over to the world. And fortunately, he recorded it all. We made a great tool that slowly dribbles out the door. Okay, it should be flying out the door, but it does go out the door on a regular basis. It's called Praise the Lord and Pass the 90. If you've ever been in the military or associated with military personnel, you know what that means, praise the Lord and pass the 90. That's kind of like praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Okay, so we call it praise the Lord and pass the 90. And Pastor, that was, I don't know, got to be 10 years ago. And Pastor Mike, I mean, he is a TV, a radio. He is on every kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Every
Platform.
Platform, thank you, that you can get out to the public. Pastor Mike is out there preaching, for the Lord, and I just can't thank him enough for that. And so he is an example of what the plant minerals can do, just even rubbing it on the outsides. And a lot of babies, they have problems and they can't drink all that stuff that we want them to drink. So we just rub it on their skin and they get better. When the doctors say, oh, this is bad. Okay, this is bad. We don't know what's going to happen here. And
So
we rub
Dr. Wallach,
plant minerals on them.
we're getting close to the time where you have to go to your other show. So what would be the maximum that Michael could take? Because you gave me the minimum. So what would be like the maximum that he would want to take for his gray hair?
Okay, and he weighs 185 pounds.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And he's 5'9.5".
Okay. Okay. Well, I take, enough for a 300-pound guy. Okay. And I only weigh 142. So I'm taking more than double of what is calculated I need. And so I would do the same thing for him. He could take, as I said, 185 pounds. He could have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. He can have 2 bottles a month of the MSM, take 3 breakfast, 3 lunch, 3 dinner time. Because the hair has to do with skin and everything. I want them to have 2 bottles a month, maybe even 3 bottles a month of our hair, skin, and nails. They can take 3 twice a day or 3 times a day, the hair, skin, and nails. Don't forget the collagen peptides. Take a scoop of that with his morning drink, scoop with his evening drink. That's going to put his skin back together. And the skin is the platform in which your hair originates from. Okay, whether it's genital hair, underarm hair, head, leg hair everywhere grows out of your skin. Okay, and so you need to be taking care of the skin to take care of the hair. Got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
And he needs to give us some feedback in 2 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 weeks. And again, yeah, I'm getting close to my time here. I got about 2 more minutes here. Anything you want me to summarize here, Rebecca? Anything?
Well, Dr. Wallach, I just want to thank you for your time. I know there was a lot of questions that we didn't get to. There's even more on YouTube, which we will save the question and try to get to it tomorrow. Thank you again, Dr. Wallach, for being on with us and sharing such great information. I'm thinking we need to start having a day of just pet questions again. What do you think?
Well, hey, I'm a veterinarian. I like pets.
Okay. Okay,
yeah.
I like pets too. Just as a reminder for those of you who join us live every day or watch the live stream, there will not be a live stream tomorrow. There will not be a live Zoom tomorrow as we're getting prepared for this big event coming up next week. So please, if you jump on, don't get upset at us if we don't let you in the waiting room because we're not going to be there either. Just letting you have a heads up here. Dr. Wallach, thank you. Thank you for all you do. I know you're continually researching and you care so much about people that it breaks your heart. I mean, I've seen times where I'm like, Dr. Wallach, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I just read on Fox News, another young athlete died.
Yeah, well, you have to appreciate that when you do 32,000 autopsies, I've probably done more autopsies than any other living person in the United States right now. Okay. And of course, my thesis was in the Smithsonian Institute. It's still there as a national treasure. Very proud of that. I showed there were no genetic diseases. There's no autoimmune diseases. They're all nutritional deficiency diseases. Okay. And so when you see all this wreckage on the autopsy table, from embryos
Yep.
to newborn babies to little kids, to pre-teenagers, teenagers, young adults, middle-aged people, seniors, who are suffering, and they go to a doctor for help, and for one reason or other, they die somewhere along the line. And I was getting them at all ages. And so this is all published. Okay. And of course, and that's why we have so many books. People say, well, how come you have 23 best-selling books, Wallach? Well, I speak a lot all over the place, but I have a lot of material that no other doctor has gotten because, ask your doctor how many autopsies they performed. Ask your doctor how many autopsies. Well, I watched 2 or 3 of them when I was a freshman.
Yeah, that's
it.
a loaded question, Dr. Wallach, that not many people can answer as having anything more than just watching a video, but you have to get going
Okay.
or I'm going to get fired.
Okay.
So thank you, Dr. Wallach. We appreciate you very, very much.
Thank you.
And all of you, thank you so much for joining us here on Daily with Doc. If you're interested in getting Dr. Wallach's books, please visit his website, drjwallach.com. He makes the money to support his family, his business through the sales of his books, not through the sales of the longevity products. So please, let's make sure that we're going to his website and purchasing any and all of his books on drjwallach.com. And thank you, everybody, for being here with us on dailywithdoc.com. Special thank you to my co-hosts. And I don't think AJ has his camera on, so it doesn't do any good to spotlight him anyways. But at first, we'll do a call out for AJ for what he's doing out on YouTube and helping give answers and keeping that communication going on the YouTube threads. Thank you, AJ. And for Ruth Ellen, who's monitoring everything and making sure that the stream continues to stay strong and going. And thank you, everybody, for working through the technical difficulties. But most of all, thank you, Ruth Ellen, for.
You're welcome.
Yeah. We might have a little extra gray hair because of it, but hey, we're going to make it through. We're going to take extra nutrients to help gain back our hair color. And we've got this. And you too, folks, you've got this. Thank you so much, Marilyn, for all you're doing and getting the communication in the chat, folks. If you've never been live with us, there is the option to watch the chat and see what Dr. Wallach is recommending through what Marilyn and also Phyllis are putting in the chat and helping to answer the questions and give that communication nice and clear, where even if I don't get to the questions, we're getting some answers also in that chat. For HIPAA reasons, we don't have it out on YouTube, Rumble, or Facebook, and we don't allow you to copy the chat either. But if it's something that relates to you, you can always take a picture of it with your phone. And for Sherry Browning, who's also here with us today, helping make sure that for those of you who have cameras on, you have all your clothes on, letting you into the room and just keeping it a safe place that we can invite people and be assured that they are getting and able to concentrate on the information that Dr. Wallach is sharing. So folks, if you heard something today that really resonates with you, whether it's for yourself or someone else you know, take action. You do not have to continue in that downward rut that you are in when it comes to your health. There is so much that you can do on your own and providing your body the things that it is missing so that it can thrive, not just survive. Life is great, folks. You don't have to live in a world and life of pain. And the earlier you start, the better. But I was in my mid 40s when I started, and now in my 50s, I feel fabulous. You can too. So until next time, bye for now. Oh, don't forget, if you're not working with anybody and you'd like to talk with a certified holistic health coach and make sure that you are picking the products that best fit your needs to help you with your health goals, call 855-949-3377. Again, that's for people who have never spoken to anybody about the longevity products before. And if you have, get back with the person that shared this program or the products with you. My name's Becca Dukes. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.